Hey, everybody, welcome to the inaugural episode of the N3rd Funny Podcast. Mom and I are talking about Beakman's World this week, and just wanted to give you a quick note, an apology for the audio. We're still learning this whole podcasting thing very much, and there's some areas where my voice is going to sound like there's an echo behind it, and we're working on those things, and happy to receive any feedback you have as to what could be doing that. But until we figure it out, just wanted to apologize in advance. We didn't go back and record this whole episode. We thought the conversation was funnier as it happened. So we wanted to share that with you in whole. But despite all that, we hope you enjoy and have fun. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to N3rd Funny. I'm DadN3rd. This is a podcast where Nerd Mom and I talk about shows, games, movies, and wonderfully nerdy things that have entertained us over the years. For our very first episode, we're heading back to the wonderfully weird world of Beakman's World, the show that taught us science through giant rats, bizarre experiments, and an alarming amount of shouting. So grab your lab coat, stand a safe distance away from the experiment, and let's get nerdy.
For some reason, I remember during PE, they rolled in the TV and played Last of the Mohicans.
During PE?
Yes.
That's your physical education. Hey, let's watch this guy carve a canoe.
There were 30 kids running around, and at the front of the gym was Last of the Mohicans on a TV.
See,
Don't ask me how.
I mean, it would literally get the whole room to chant along with, Bill.
Oh, so it was self-adulation for the guy.
You haven't seen the thing? You've never watched the
No.
intro? Okay, you got to watch the intro.
I've seen clips and bits of Bill Nye, and I will tell you, every bit of it, he's just standing there like Mr. Rogers with an attitude, like, look how smart I am.
No, they film bits in between. There's a whole thing where they do skits and episodes. How are you writing letters to George Lucas?
Because it's 1991, sir.
As
There's
a
no
child.
internet. There's no standard available internet.
But wouldn't you go ask your dad, hey, Dad, what happens when I stick water in the freezer? Not, Mom, can I write a letter to George Lucas? I need to know. Dad doesn't know anything. George Lucas knows all, and he's the father figure in my life. I need to know physics, and I need to learn it from George Lucas. Okay. Welcome to the inaugural episode of N3rd Funny. Technically not the first episode. We did the Never Trust a Magical Shark sketch, which was pretty fun. We've talked about doing this for a long time, and we were like, hey, let's just do the thing. Or at least I was like, hey, let's do the thing. And we did the thing, and you wrote a script, which was great, and we recorded it. And we added all kinds of sounds to it. And now we're just talking about stuff. And today we're talking about Beakman's World, which is a what?
Integral part of my childhood and should explain a lot of who I am as an adult.
All right. So.
But for outside of that, it's a science show for kids that was before slightly and during Bill Nye the Science Guy. But in my childhood, I had no idea who Bill Nye was. It was all Beakman's World for me. And I like learning random stuff because that's how you hold off Alzheimer's, is you use your brain. And so when we decided to do this, I was like, well, let me learn about this. And some stuff about the show and around the show is really interesting. So I thought I would share it with you.
Okay, it's an integral part of your childhood.
Yes.
Like, was this like Saturday morning cartoons or?
Yes, it was a Saturday morning thing, but I a lot of the time caught it in reruns, and my mother and father would record VHS tapes. So I had homemade VHS tapes of Beakman's World. So I could fast forward through the commercials before it was cool.
You were doing TiVo stuff before TiVo was a thing.
Yes.
and it was all centered around Beakman's World. Okay.
Well, I had other things as well, but you know.
But that was pretty much the regular schedule was Saturday morning, or
Yeah.
I don't even know when this show came on TV because I don't particularly remember watching this one. I remember Bill Nye the Science Guy, but that was more. That's what they wheeled in on the
Boo.
cart for. Yeah, that's what they wheeled in on the cart for school.
Your school was way cooler than mine. Mine, in fact, I know this is off topic, but you mentioned rolling in the TV. For some reason, I remember during PE, they rolled in the TV and played Last of the Mohicans.
During PE.
Yes.
That's your physical education. Hey, let's watch this guy carve a canoe.
There were 30 kids running around, and at the front of the gym was Last of the Mohicans on a TV.
See,
Don't ask me how.
What'll happen is one of them will run by here and they'll get distracted and they'll be still for about 5 seconds. That's our opportunity to put the sack on their head and drag them off into the dark room over there. I don't know. Maybe that was going on at your school. I have no idea. I hope it wasn't. That's weird.
No,
but anyway,
we had the same 33 kids pretty much from junior high up.
In case you're wondering, we went to very small schools. But anyway.
If the 33 kids didn't give it away.
Yeah.
33.
Okay. That explains why we're here talking about Beakman's World today. So, all right. So, Beakman's World, integral part of your childhood. You're watching this on Saturday morning. Your parents are TiVoing before TiVo is a thing.
Yes.
And, all right. Explain to me the appeal of the show. Why is Beakman's World something you were, as a kid, were like, I love science and just Beakman and everything Beakman.
Okay. So, Beakman's intro was 2 puppet penguins watching Beakman's World. And they were very...
It's a little self-aware.
It was very self-aware, which I enjoy as an adult still. And this explains why, because it started with the Beakman's World. And they're like making jokes about living in the Arctic. And then they're like, let's watch Beakman. And then it goes in and it's got this really over-the-top intro. And then you meet the cast, which you have Beakman, who's the scientist, his female counterpart, who helps him with reading the letters and doing the experiments, and his other counterpart, who is a man in a rat suit.
Okay, so that's the one thing that I remember about, I don't know, probably one handful of episodes that I've ever watched of the show. There's a guy in a giant rat suit.
Yep.
And I don't really know how that ties into anything, but you call him his counterpart?
Yeah, they were all equal parts hosts. They all did their right thing.
Wait, so the rat would teach kids science too?
He would help, yes, as would the lady. I mean, Beakman was the main, because, I mean, it's his show. But then each of them would help and sometimes lead the experiment. And the guy in the rat suit would always point out that he should have read his contract better.
You know, there's some guy our age with a PhD somewhere that just sits back and he thinks about what he was doing Saturday mornings as a kid. And he's like, I learned everything that I know from a giant rat that 2 penguins talked about on Saturday morning.
Yes, Lester the rat.
Lester? Oh, it gets even better. His name is Lester.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, wait a minute. I got to be careful here because I had a coworker named Lester for a long time. And he's a really good guy. I love that guy.
He wasn't a rat?
He was not a rat.
He wasn't a man in a rat suit?
He was a man. He did not. I never saw him in a rat suit. So we're not even going to go there. But his name was Lester. He was a great guy. Okay, but this Lester is rat.
Yes, that's his character's name.
And his whole theme is he's a giant rat. I mean,
his whole thing is he's a guy in a rat suit.
Oh, he's a guy. Okay, so he's aware that he's a guy in a rat suit. He's not just pretending to be a giant rat.
Correct. He should have read his contract
How
better.
does that dynamic play into teaching my kids about science?
It was funny, and I guess it was trying to also encourage the adults to watch it with some humor that might be over a kid, but not inappropriate, to maybe encourage the parents to let their kids watch it, because the kids learn and the parents can get a giggle out of it.
Okay. We're going to start a cooking show, and we're going to have Jimmy the Clown There's a guy in a clown outfit. He hates being a clown. It has nothing to do with the cooking, but that's going to make people want to cook.
Well, it may encourage people to watch it because a self-deprecating clown is an interesting aspect.
I mean, that's the whole basis.
And somehow at the end of it, he always ends up with a pie in the face. He's cooking mac and cheese, pie in the face.
The Ringling Brothers have been making bank for years. I'm just saying.
Right. Oh,
the cooking circus.
They've gotten rid of all the animals. Now it's the cyber dogs out there, and it's just not as fun.
I'm laughing because in my head I wanted to go the cooking circus hosted by Dave Ramsey, but that's the finance dude, not Gordon Ramsay, the chef. So, jeez, I had that completely mixed up.
So he could save a circus.
He probably could. I need more clowns in here. Yes, chef.
Anyway, we were way off the topic.
We're way off topic. That's okay. That's the whole point of this.
But anyway, Beakman's World.
Integral part of your childhood.
Yes.
Saturday mornings.
Yes.
Parents were doing TiVo stuff before TiVo was a thing.
Uh-huh.
So you have somewhere in, maybe they're gone now, but let's just assume they're not. Somewhere in your parents' attic, there's a collection of VHS tapes.
Oh no, I wore them out. We did not have cable. We did not have internet. We did not have satellite. I wore them out.
Okay, but there's a collection of heavily used VHS tapes of Beakman's episodes. I don't think there's a single person who started out making this TV show that was like, there's a little girl in rural America that is just going to film and just use the fool out of these things. Anyway, but she did, and she's right here. It's my wife. She's awesome. And so, all right, give me the structure of a Beakman episode. What are we learning on Beakman's show?
Okay, so it varied from episode to episode, but it was all about science. And I remember specifically there was an episode about how to not spread germs so that you didn't make everyone else sick around you. And there was a cartoon running nose.
They had no idea COVID was coming, but okay.
No, but if they had watched Beakman's World, they would have known.
We could have. Okay, thanks, Dr. Fauci. All we needed was an episode of Beakman and no masks, okay?
But the nose was literally running on shoes, but also running like snotty. And it was sneezing and spreading its germs everywhere. And it finally got into a building, because it has been a while since I've seen it. And then they started discussing using a tissue, washing your hands. There may have even been information on masking, but I'm not 100% sure now.
I mean, it couldn't be. I didn't even know that was a thing. Well, okay. I'm trying to get off all the COVID talk, but I didn't even know that was a thing. And then, oh yeah, we've been doing that in hospitals for years. I don't know, never put it together. Yeah. But anyway.
But it was discussing all the stuff like that. I remember that. And then the volcano experiment, that's one of the ones that blew up in his face because they overpowered it, and the volcano, and his wig would stand straight up, and he'd get the ash on his face, and his cohorts, let me get that English out, would be standing in the back, like looking at him shamefully, like, how could you do that, Beakman? You undid science. You overdid science. You Tim the Tool Manned it.
You were trying to teach kids science, and now your face has exploded.
Yes.
You're a sad, pathetic excuse for a scientist, Beakman. And then the credits would play, and that was the whole episode. No, just kidding.
Never. But, so I was looking up information about it because I was like, I remember the show. I loved it because like I said, I never did Bill Nye. I completely had no clue he existed. And from what I've seen of his show, it was very boring and very dry.
No, it wasn't boring. I mean, I remember being in the 5th grade, they'd wheel that card in. The intro to Bill Nye, I mean, it would literally get the whole room to chant along with Bill, 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 Bill.
Oh, so it was self-adulation for the guy.
You haven't seen the thing? You've never watched the intro? Okay, you got to watch the intro.
I've seen clips and bits of Bill Nye, and I will tell you, every bit of it, he's just standing there like Mr. Rogers with an attitude, like, look how smart I am.
No, they film bits in between. There's a whole thing where they do skits and episodes. It's a whole thing.
No.
But But the little bit I've watched of Beakman, okay, the little bit I've watched of Beakman, it's this is more, this is like the Pee Wee's Playhouse of scientific learning.
Yes.
It was what it seems more like that. And so there was something interesting I didn't even have a clue about that you brought up, which is what this show is actually based on. Because I've just seen the American Beakman's World. It ran for like 4 seasons in the 90s. What was this actually based on?
So it's actually based on Beakman. Sorry, You Can Do It with Beakman and Jax, which was a syndicated comic strip that ran in newspapers for 25 years.
So I'm looking at the Wikipedia entry for this. Launch date July 14th, 1991. End date July 17th, 2016.
Yeah.
So
it had its 25th anniversary, and then 3 months later, it ended its run. But it ended after the original creator had gone away.
Okay. Okay. So that would be an event where you would stop the show. Because I was wondering, was there like a room full of people and they're like, "Hey, congratulations, guys, we made it 25 years." And then 3 months later, they're like, "You know what? I'm ready to take a break. I'm done." But okay, so the underlying creator, he's out of the picture for obvious reasons we're not going to state. But and then it ended its run.
Yes.
And that's the original source material. You Can Do It with Beakman and Jax. But there's what really got my attention was how this guy came up with the thing in the first place.
Yeah, so the original creator was Jock Church, J-O-K.
That's what it says.
So I'm assuming it's Jock and not like Jack, because there's no Chicky. There's no Chicky over the O.
Or a line like Joke.
Yeah.
Is his name Joke Church?
But he was a cartoonist by trade. But at one point, for whatever reason, he was working in Lucasfilms answering kids' fan letters.
And just for everyone that's playing the home game and keeping along, Lucasfilms as in Star Wars. Lucasfilms. As in George Lucas.
Shh. We're not accredited, but they'll take what money we don't have.
Okay, well, yeah. But, okay, Star Wars.
Shh.
Mandalorian, Qui-Gon. Let me just say all the names. Anyway, that Lucasfilm, also responsible for a lot of good video games. That Lucasfilm, this is where Jock Church or Joke Church, however you say it, is working. And he's answering fan mail for George Lucas.
Yes. Specifically, it said the kids' letters. And he was like, what else could kids want to know about and answer questions about? And that's where You Can Do It with Beakman and Jax came from. He got kids mostly, so some adults or teenagers would write in with their questions and he would answer their questions. But the difference between Beakman's World, which is what I watch, and Beakman, You Can Do It with Beakman and Jax, the comic strip, is You Can Do It with Beakman and Jax didn't answer your question so much as it gave you an experiment to do to answer your question. So it left it for you to do the critical thinking and to do the experiment so that you could know that you know that you know because you've done it. Whereas Beakman's World answers it and did the experiment on the show, because it wouldn't be too much of a show if he just was like, all right, Susie from BBQ wants to know. I do know my states. I just thought it would be fun.
No, I know you do, but Susie from BBQ, Susie from Barbecue wants to know.
How do I tie my shoe?
Here's the other question I have is, okay, this guy was answering fan mail to George Lucas.
Yes.
As an adult.
He as an adult, yes, he was as an adult.
But no. I'm saying from my perspective as an adult.
You as an adult looking at this, hearing it.
There are athletes. There are places that I have written letters to.
Mm-hmm.
in the hopes of getting like an autograph or some kind of response. I've written a letter to Congress, my representative, whatever.
Yes, there's a dark
What?
room with bad people from
What?
bad families answering your letter.
What? Yeah. Well, that describes the government, but okay. What child says, Mom, you know what I want to do today? And she's like, no, honey, what? And he's like, I want to write a fan letter to George Lucas, who I adore because of his just beautiful prequels to the Star Wars trilogy.
It's 91, sir. The prequels are not out yet.
Oh, they're coming. But okay, so even more to the point, they're watching movies that have been out for quite a while, and they're saying, "Hey, that guy, I want to write a letter to that guy. I want to know some science stuff." Not even, "Hey, George, is R2D2 real, or what'd you base C3PO on?" No. Why does water turn solid when it gets cold? To George Lucas, and maybe that's what was happening. Maybe that's not, but. How are you writing letters to George Lucas?
Because it's 1991, sir.
As
There's
a
no
child.
Internet. There's no standard available internet.
But wouldn't you go ask your dad, "Hey, Dad, what happens when I stick water in the freezer?" Not, "Mom, can I write a letter to George Lucas? I need to know." Dad doesn't know anything. George Lucas knows all, and he's the father figure of my life. I need to know physics, and I need to learn it from George Lucas.
No, they weren't sending George Lucas science questions. They were asking him stuff like, "Hey, when are you going to make a new movie? My parents made me sit through this movie. Why did you make this movie? I hate this movie. My parents made me sit through it. It's so old. It's so cheesy.
But
hey, why don't you make Chewbacca real?"
But okay. But Jock Church didn't get a letter from a kid asking George Lucas, "Hey, why don't you make Chewbacca real?" And then go, "All right, let's talk about the chemical properties of whatever."
No, but he was like, what else would kids answer questions to?
Okay.
So he put out Beakman and Jax, because I'm shortening it down because the name's just real long to keep repeating. And the first one was probably like, "Hey, we're starting this up. If you have a question," it was probably his experiment to his question. And like, "Hey, if you have your own, send it in." And it started from there and ran for 25 years. 25 years worth of questions. Mike Rowe is having chest palpitations thinking about it. He's like, "I did dirty jobs for 7.
I love the
8.
Mike Rowe
Could you
reference.
imagine 25 years of that?"
I'm just trying to picture Jock Church, or let's call him Beakman. I'm just trying to picture Beakman rifling through fan mail, because there's just a huge amount of fan mail for George Lucas in 1991. Going, hey, Jax, we got an episode here. Let's do this. All right. So he's answering this fan mail. he's getting letters. Yeah. He's coming up with experiments. So I like what you were talking about. I think this is pretty cool. Not only am I going to answer the question, but I'm going to give you an experiment to show you the answer to the question that you can demonstrate for yourself. Mm-hmm. All right. So So he starts responding back to these kids, and what happens?
And it took off. It was in syndicated newspapers across the country, and even eventually out of the country, answering kids' questions. And from there, they were like, "Hey, I bet we could make money off of this." Which is what everyone does when they do things. Is there money in it? Yes, do it. If there's not, don't. And they made Beakman.
That's where there's a guy in a rat suit.
Yes.
That comes along later.
But that was terrible. Stop it with the words. There were the 3 cast. Beakman, who was the same actor the entire time the series ran for the 4 seasons. From 91 to 97 or 92 to 97 is what my notes say. But I may have messed up. But Beakman, who was Paul, and he has a unique last name, Zaloom. Zaloom?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Paul Zaloom.
And then Lester, the Rat Man, who should have read his contract better, was Mark Ritz. and they were there the whole 72 episodes. But the female host changed every couple of seasons. And you started with Lisa, and then you had Josie and Phoebe, and that's their characters' names. That's not the real actresses' names.
You said 72 episodes?
Yes.
Okay. The Wikipedia shows 91. I don't actually know.
Well,
not that it matters. There was around 75 to 100 something.
Yeah, somewhere in there. The thing I looked up said 7. Like when you look up their specific IMBD or whatever.
IMDb?
Yeah. It says 72 episodes, but there were other things outside of the show that kind of played off of that, like little, not movies, but just kind of things that could have been played. I've lost my string. It's a good thing.
In my head, I'm imagining rival gangs of people who look up stuff on IMDb and then people who look up stuff on Wikipedia or maybe even edit Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, in the mental turf battle that I'm having right now between those two groups of people, the IMDb people are winning. Because I think if you spend your time editing Wikipedia, you're probably not physically ready to go out and just conquer the world.
Too true.
I'm thinking the IMDb people who, are sitting in the theater looking up cast really quick right before they get told to silence their cell phones. Yeah, they're probably holding it down. That's all I'm saying. So we've got Beakman, we've got the rat, and Lester, and the female counterpart who is named Josie.
Yes,
in
Josie.
Season 1.
Yep. And then Eliza, and then Phoebe.
Okay. So every episode.
And then don't forget the penguins, the puppet penguins.
Yes, they had names.
Herb and Dawn.
And Dawn.
Herb was voiced by Alan Barzman, Barzman, I believe, if my spelling is correct. And then Dawn is Bert Burtis. So he was born to voice a penguin with a name like Bert Burtis.
Alan Barzman and Bert Burtis.
Okay, yeah, so I did spell it right.
Awesome.
Those were the penguins.
So let's break down an episode. So we open with Beakman doing what?
Mostly talking to the camera. He would be like, "Hey, welcome to Beakman's World. We're going to do experiments," and he'd get his coat on, and then either Lester or the female cast member would be like, "Hey, Beakman, we got a letter," and they'd openly dramatic and be, over the top about reading it.
Call back to the whole fan mail thing. I love it.
Yes. And they would read the question, and Beakman would be like, let me show you. And then he'd go do the experiment that answered the question. And he would do the experiment and then recap all together. Like, okay, so this was the question. Here's the experiment. Here's what happened in the experiment. There's your answer.
Yeah.
And he would do two to three experiments, I guess, depending on the question or even what the experiment is. Because I know they did light at one point in time. Someone asked about prisms. So he did like a experiment with light through bubbles, experiments with light through a prism, experiment with lights through water.
We call that refraction.
Mm-hmm. To make the rainbow and why it broke into a rainbow. So that was the original question. And they used the 3 different.
There's a video playing.
That was weird.
I'll show it to you later.
I don't want it.
We're going to edit all this out. It's a police thing.
Okay. So that's what Beakman did. And he would do 2 to 3 experiments. But it was always done in a goofy manner.
Mm-hmm.
It was a genuine experiment, but it was always over the top and done goofy to kind of keep you interested. And Beakman himself was a character anyway, because he had this really tall wig on and his lab coat was neon green and he's just very gestury and loud.
I had to look up some pictures. This is apparently Paul Zaloon.
Yeah.
Costumed as Beakman in 2014. I was like, I don't remember the TV show being on that late.
It wasn't. You can hire him. apparently, to
Oh,
come
really?
to come do events.
Still riding that Beakman money. That's what I'm talking about.
Why not if it's something you love? Because
Well,
he's
yeah.
not a scientist. He's a puppeteer.
Well, he's a puppeteer. Wait a minute. Okay, I never claimed that he was a scientist.
Bill Nye did.
Bill Nye does claim that he's a scientist. But okay, so he's a puppeteer.
Yes.
What puppets did he do puppets on the show, or did he do puppets in some other show?
He may have done puppets for the show, but I couldn't really find any information about that. Just that he is a puppeteer. That's part of what he does.
Does he like work at Jim Henson or something?
Not that I could find.
Okay, so his trade is he's a puppeteer.
Yes.
But somehow or another he lands on this show and he is the guy. He's the scientist.
Yes.
So he puppeteered a human, which is what we all do every day. So
yes.
Good job. You nailed it. Great performance there, Paul Zaloom.
Yeah. And he also did some voice acting. A lot of the people on the show, after the show, did voice acting, especially the women cast.
I was going to say, I think it's Cinta Moses. Let me pull her.
Who was Phoebe? Cinta was Phoebe.
No, maybe not her. Let me look. Who else did we have?
Cinta Moses did Home Alone.
Eliza Schneider. Okay. I'm a giant video game nerd, and she has a huge list of credits in here.
Yes.
The Bard's Tale, EverQuest 2, Neopets, which I thought was hilarious. Kingdom Hearts 2, she plays Elizabeth Swan. Like, what? That's crazy. That's from back in 2006. Neverwinter Nights 2, that's crazy. Assassin's Creed 2, Ratchet and Clank, A Future, A Crack in Time, Dragon Age Origins. I mean, super awesome RPG. She was in Final Fantasy 13 too, which I'm a giant Final Fantasy nerd. That was amazing.
Diablo. She's in Diablo.
Yeah. Sly Cooper, Thieves in Times, Grand Theft Auto 5. That's crazy. Skylanders, Trap Team, Lego Ninjago, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. Boy, there's a niche title right there. Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Final Fantasy 14. I'm sorry, not 14, 15 additional voices. So she played some NPCs in there. Middle Earth Shadow of War, Kingdom Hearts 3, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Nexus VR in 2023. And Disney Speedstorm, she came back as Elizabeth Swan again. That's crazy.
Yeah, she did a lot of voice acting, but not only did she do that, this is a lady that when I looked her up, I was like, wow, what a life. She went, let me make sure. Yeah, she does dialects. Like, that's something she focuses on. She loves learning how and why people talk the way they talk. So at some point, I'm not sure when she started because I don't have it. It may have been in there. They may not have put the dates.
Yeah.
She took an old ambulance that she had kind of retrofitted and went across the country twice, just talking to people and recording it so she could learn their dialects. And she found that
same lady we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So Eliza.
And
that's how she studied like diction and stuff in each of the accents and things she was hearing.
Yeah. So she studies that, and she actually created a one-person play called Freedom of Speech about the 34 different dialects that she discovered when she crossed America twice.
Dude, talk about number one, dedication to your craft.
Right.
Like I know there's voice actors that I recognize, and I'm like, oh man, like the guy that plays Vegeta and Piccolo. Like everything we see him in, or not see him in, see him with your ears. Everything we hear him in, I'm like immediately, bam, that's really cool. And he's a great voice actor.
Oh yeah,
enjoy it. But she she should have like, maybe she does. Maybe she's like a PhD of voice acting.
I don't know about that.
That's a whole level of dedication to your craft above and beyond anything I've ever seen a voice actor do.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then she took all she learned and turned it into a play that she did by herself, where she did the dialects of the people. And it's just clips of her conversations with these people that she met along her trip. That took 10 years. 10 years. This across the country twice trip.
Wow. That's really cool. I've never
in an ambulance.
Okay, Fran. In an ambulance. I can't do it. But that's
Good.
incredible. So yeah, 10 years,
34 dialects.
34 dialects.
One woman show. The math ain't mathin'.
I don't know anything about this show, so I'm not endorsing it because I don't know what the content's like. But now I got to find a YouTube clip or something. It's crazy.
I saw a clip because I had to look it up. I'm like, what is this one woman show? Because in my mind, I'm like, boring. But it's just her talking to these people that she met and them talking back to her. So she's like doing this one scene and she has like props to differentiate the people to express who they are. So like if it's somebody from Texas who's got that thick drawl, you know, she's got on a hat. She was talking to this old, what I would consider like Jewish Yiddish voice. Okay. And she's like, she walked up to my ambulance and this is what she said. She's like, honey, what are you doing in the ambulance?
What are you doing in there? And, I don't know.
Yeah. So it was just interesting. I don't know how the conversations go past that point, but the clips that I saw were fine.
Okay.
It's just these people like, what are you doing?
I gotta check it out.
You got a hammer? Why don't you have a hammer?
Yeah, that's a comedian from Dry Bar. I don't remember what his name is. He came up to me. You got a hammer, honey? You don't always have a hammer. Why don't you have a hammer? Mm-hmm. That's pretty funny stuff. I need to find that and actually accredit that to who it belongs to.
But on top of all of that, not only she's a linguist, did she do the 10-year journey? Did she do the one woman play? But she also is a virtuoso with instruments, with violin specifically, but she plays 11 instruments.
Okay, the hammer thing, the hammer joke. Mm-hmm. Corey Rodriguez.
Okay.
It's on Dry Bar. Go watch his special. It was hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious.
Thanks, Corey. I don't know you, but I want to make sure everybody knows that's your joke.
We loved it. You were awesome.
The hammer thing was great. Yeah, take all these tools back. Give me like 4 PlayStation games. This is great. I identify with that. Thank you.
I have the tools.
I do have some tools. Okay. I do cut boards and things. Mm-hmm. Don't make me defend myself. Come on. I just installed the new home cinema.
No, you dropped it. Cinema.
Cinema. I don't know what that was. You got me off kilter. Cinema. Anyway.
That's what sing-songy. That's what they mean in books. She smiled with her lower teeth in a sing-songy voice.
Smiled with her lower teeth. How do you smile with your lower teeth?
It's a meme. You got to find it online.
I have small teeth, so I can't usually smile with my teeth at all. You can smile with your teeth, but it's the upper teeth. How do you do this? You got your chin out so far. Look, I'm smiling, lovey. It's like, what's his name from Gilligan's Island? Look, lovey, I'm smiling.
Oh, goodness. What were their names?
The Howells.
Yes, Howells. I was like, I was thinking Howard.
Thurston Howell?
Yes, Thurston Howell the third.
Yes, and the wife's
Lovey.
name. Lovey.
Oh, Lovey.
That's Lovey. I'm smiling with my teeth in the lagoon. Anyway. All right, we've gotten completely off track. Okay, we started talking about Beakman's world, and then we wound up on Eliza Schneider and her voice acting career, which is amazing. But anyway, back to the Beakman thing. So I think we were kind of talking structure of an episode. We got Beakman, we got the giant rat. What about the giant rat? What was the story with him?
He was just like, it was very on self-aware. He's like, I'm an actor. They asked me to do this job. I didn't read my contract well enough. Now I'm in a rat suit and I hate my life. But when we say rat, he was very, I won't say dark, but he was very subdued because he was always, the joke was that, yeah, I mean, obviously he's a guy in a rat suit, but it was a big furry body that was like clown shaped. It was just round and he had a white t-shirt on underneath it because it didn't have sleeves. It was a tank top. Yeah. And he had a headband with ears, big floppy ears, and then a cone nose with a little dot on the end for the nose, or a little ball for the nose. And he always looked sweaty and unshaven.
Yeah.
But he would read the letters and do the experiment and then be like, ugh.
So was he the one that usually did the experiment, or was it Beakman?
It depended. A lot of the experiments that I recall were like kind of cartooned, like they were showing the experiment.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes if it was a simpler experiment, they would do it physically. But he would read the letters, and he was comic relief.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was stuff put in there that would make it semi-interesting to an adult to try and encourage them to watch it with their kid.
Yeah.
So he was kind of a part of that. Because the kids were like, hey, there's a guy in a rat suit, and the adults are like, he didn't read his contract.
So
always read your contract.
Definitely the comic relief then.
Yes.
So what would you say? All right, so this is Beakman's World. So what would you say would be like top 3 either experiments or episodes that you remember from this integral part of your childhood? That when you think of, there's lots. Okay, top 5.
No, I said there was. There was.
Okay, it was. Never mind, I misheard you. So it was top 3 episodes or experiments. When you think about Beakman's World, this is what you think of.
I remember the episodes about the solar system where they went through all the planets and then what they were. Like gas giant, ice giant, star, the sun, Earth, where we're all happy and everything is good. Gravity, and who discovered gravity, how gravity works, the fact that gravity is a law and not a theory, and what the difference is between law and theory. And it drives me insane when people are like, the theory of gravity. I'm like, it's a law. It is the same everywhere. You can't go to some place in Antarctica and float away because gravity doesn't work the same there. It's a law. It is the same. It is consistent.
Are there lots of people saying theory of gravity out there?
Yes.
Where?
Everywhere. Like for a month, I swear, just listening to different podcasts and stuff, they're like, the theory of gravity. And I'm like, it's a law. It's like one of the only laws.
Please trip over something. I guarantee you will obey gravity. Your face will obey it.
Your face
will obey
it. You can fight the law. The law will win. Gravity's a law.
The law, and the law threw me on the ground because gravity.
Yes, and I'm like, my science teacher from high school, she's having palpitations. And I know why, because people are out there saying the theory of gravity.
Wherever you are, we love you, Miss Nugent. She's great. But, okay, so that one. Gotta give me 2 more.
I remember at least the comic that was about, it was a whole episode, but I remember that specifically, the comic cartoon that they did of the running nose, because they started off by explaining what germs were, the little bacteria, and they showed that. And then
when you say running nose, this was a nose that had like a post-nasal drip, or like a nose with legs, like in Super Mario for the Game Boy?
Both.
Okay, so there was a detached nose that was running around.
Yes.
Just throwing germs everywhere?
Yes. Sneezing and spreading germs.
I love the mental picture. Wait a minute. Does it have legs and arms?
I don't remember arms. I'm sure it did, but it definitely had feet and legs and was running. It had a sweatband around the top of the nose, like the bridge had a sweatband.
What does a nose with 2 legs running around look like when it sneezes?
Like a sneezing nose. It would like a person, the whole nose would sneeze, and then it would like throw germs and boogers.
So there's a guy in a suit, and all you can see is his legs running around with this giant nose on him.
No, it was a cartoon.
Oh, it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay. But still.
So it ran, and then
and every time it would sneeze, it would just expel.
And then it's sniffling.
Green globs or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's snuffling, and then finally it like stops, and it's like, oh, And they're like, here's a tissue. When you sneeze, cover your nose. And so
Cover yourself.
Yes. Is like I said, on the nose. So
no pun intended.
It was on the nose.
Exactly. So they gave it a giant tissue for the giant man nose that's running.
Wait. Giant man nose? Why are you saying it's a dude?
Because it had a male voice.
Oh, okay.
It was a cartoon. It had eyes and legs. Okay. It was a man.
Oh, it had eyeballs?
Yes.
That's even creepier than what I had in my head.
With a sweatband above them. And then it was just giant nose.
Did it have eyebrows?
Green snot. I don't remember eyebrows.
Okay. All right, that's 2. One more.
That's 3.
No, we had the solar system. We've talked about the running nose.
Gravity.
Oh, I thought gravity was part of the solar system.
No.
Give me one more for extra measure.
Gravity was separate from the solar system.
Got it. Thanks for that John Myers earworm.
You're welcome. Let's see. There was volcano. They talked about magma. And yes, you have to say it.
They have to say it like magma.
Well, they didn't, but I have to. I can't say that word without saying it sarcastic.
Without saying magma.
Yes.
Okay.
But they discussed volcanoes and how it's the molten under the earth and it builds up pressure and heat. And then eventually it finds a weak point, aka a volcano, and explodes. And that's why they erupt. And then that led into geysers, which has a volcano under it, and it heats up the water and to release the pressure. Old Yeller.
Faithful.
Old Faithful.
Old Yeller. Somebody take that water spout out back and shoot it. It's got a disease. All these people keep coming over here to Yellowstone and getting rabies. We don't know why. It's just like that nose is just blowing it into the air. I'm not making fun of you. This is funny. Old Yeller. And I started to do like the magma thing, but with old faithful.
Old Yeller's, the magma.
Old Yeller's just jumped right out there, right into the street, and I just ran him over laughing at it. Sorry for anybody that's offended by that visual.
All I'm saying is the book did it. The movie made it more, I guess, appropriate to the audience that they ended up having to do what they did to the dog. But the book was
we're having a real conversation about Old Yeller.
But the book was the genuine answer. That's what you did.
I mean, if you want to be sad about a puppy, Old Yeller.
He was old. It's in his name.
I'm just saying things along that line, where the red fern grows.
Now that one was sad.
Also very sad.
I mean, the one dog died a hero. The other dog just died. And it's like,
well, she was sad.
Yes.
I think it was Little Land that survived.
I don't remember. It's been a long time. Right. But yeah, the second dog mourned themselves.
I know their names was Old Dan and Little Land.
So you remember more than me. I do remember that it was the kid from The Rifleman, and the guy who played the Rifleman did a cameo in that movie.
Yeah, we had to read the book in like I think it was 3rd grade, might have been 5th grade.
I remember in the 2nd grade I had to read Bridge to Terabithia.
Super sad. Like, what's the? Like,
what is it with our childhood and the trauma?
Like public schools trying to break you down. Like, here, read this really sad book and then process that emotionally on your own.
We didn't need counselors. They were like, read this.
Nowadays it's like, hey, talk with your kid. Go over their homework. Our parents weren't going over our homework unless I was like, please help me with math. So you're just in there dealing with stuff that, is going to carry into your 60s, like an emotional foundation.
Oh, when we had to read Hatchet in like the 6th grade.
Thanks, Gary Paulson.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't later, and it's for the best when I had to read Metamorphosis in high school.
Oh, that was terrible.
I hated that book. I hate everything about it.
I also hate cockroaches.
Yes.
But
it's twice over.
But to think of a dude just dying, like, I'm totally going to spoil it, dial up internet. Think of a dude dying from a rotten apple stuck in his body. It's just gross. But anyway.
Yeah. And then, like, what got me is he got turned into a cockroach. Like, he was a good guy. He went out, he worked, he was supporting,
was taking care of his family.
His family, mom, sister. I think there may have been a brother. There was a brother or a dad. I don't remember which. And then he just wakes up a cockroach and then finds out that his family would have been were more without him. Like, the sister gets a job. The brother, I think it was a brother, goes
everybody has to get up and do something.
Yeah, they were sucking off of him, and his reward for taking care of his family is to turn into a cockroach and die.
Because I can't go outside because I'm a cockroach. Now everybody's forced to work for a living.
Yeah, and they let him, and they killed him.
Like, okay, and all that aside, what's going on in your life that's what you wrote about?
Right?
Hey, imagine this. You're a super great guy taking care of your family and, bearing everybody's burdens, and you're going to turn into a cockroach one day, and that's going to make everybody else better because they're actually going to have to do work now, but you're going to die slowly and painfully, and everybody's going to be going up to your room wondering what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it couldn't even be like you turn into, it was still been gross, but you turn into a worm and then you turn into a beautiful butterfly and it's like, oh, he's released. No, he was a cockroach, a nasty, disease-spreading cockroach. And then his sister kills him by throwing an apple at him. He dies alone and in pain behind their toilet because he was locked in the bathroom.
My cousin is both of our English teacher at one point in different classes. She's just sitting somewhere shuddering. Like, that's what you remember about that book? Yes, that is exactly what we remember about that book.
And what was,
because it's that bad.
Yeah, and what also was bad is she's like, you shouldn't have read it. You're going to have to read it again. I'm like, no, I'm not. I read it because I knew it was on the list and I was going to have to read it. And I was like, might as well get it done. And you know what? We never read it for class. I didn't have to read it.
We can say it now. I got the paper. What are you going to do? Anyway, that's totally off topic from Beakman's world.
Yeah, I think we have an episode in an episode when you edit this down.
That's okay. That's the way our brains work. That's why we're doing this. It's funny. Also, it's kind of therapy for us. So there we go. Yeah, that's Beakman's world. I think we got through all the notes. Or you got more?
That was pretty much the highlights. It ran for season 92 to 97. The three ladies, which the Eliza being really awesome and having these really cool things. I didn't look up what the voice actors for the penguins did because I was like, they were the penguins. They were just kind of the intro and the outro.
They were the penguins.
Because they turned the TV on it. Their ICE TV. It was an ICE TV on and off.
Yes, I remember that.
See? And, but Paul Zaloom, he had, for just a regular standard career, he didn't have anything super cool or crazy happen. And like we said earlier, sometimes he will still don the guise of Beakman and do events.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mark Ritz, he kind of had bit parts for the rest of his career until he was like, I'm done with this, and went and lived in Miami. I don't.
That's really where he was?
No, I have no idea where he went. That's just, I grew up Golden Girls era, and that's where the old people go.
That's where they retire.
They retire and go to Miami.
Retired to Miami. I don't know why I talk like this, but I'm in Miami.
Yeah, he didn't talk like that at all.
Well, somewhere in my head, Mark Ritz is in Miami.
Eliza, who did all the cool stuff, but the other ladies, also had their own careers. They weren't, to me, as interesting as Eliza's. Like, let me see here. Alana Ubach. Yeah, she did and does some of the bigger name line movies.
Okay.
She was in Legally Blonde, all of them. Okay. She was in Waiting, which is a movie I've never seen, but I've heard of. It's got the guy who plays Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Okay.
Him when he was young.
Yeah.
She did a voice in Coco. She was in the Brady Bunch movie. She was in Meet the Parents. And she's done more, but those were the ones that I put because I was like, oh, those are well known.
Yeah. Those are, yeah. Most people have heard of those.
Yeah. And she didn't do any main characters, but she was in them, which is cool. You know, it's like, oh, I've seen that. You know, I'll go look for her. And then Cinta Moses, she was in Home Alone. She was one of the cousins.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She was Tracy McAllister.
Tracy McAllister.
Mm-hmm. So
now I'm going to have to go look up a picture of the character, Tracy McAllister.
Yeah, but she was in that. And that's what I have for her. I mean, she's done other stuff, but I was like, hey, that's something everyone has seen. Everyone knew her. Yeah.
There she is.
Yep. Her young.
Okay. Yeah, I'd never been like, oh, yeah, that's Cinta Moses.
Yep. But now you know.
So now that you have these two dots put together.
Yes. It's connected in your brain, and you will never not unsee it.
Right. We're gonna be watching Home Alone with our kids at some point. That was the person who's in Beakman's world, and they're still not gonna know what we're talking about because they're never gonna listen to this. They have no idea.
No, nor have they watched Beakman's World, because to my sad little heart, well, that's untrue. At one point in time, there were like season 1 was available on YouTube, and then that was it. I couldn't find any more.
Oh,
so I watched it with our oldest, but that's been a long time ago. She was little when I did this. And I was like, watch. This was my childhood, and you're going to learn it. Because we're raising our babies right.
Raising them babies. Raising them babies on Beakman's world.
Just on our childhood. It's like we grew up functional parts of society.
Babies grow up to be Beakmans.
As far as, you know, they know.
Don't let them do experiments and such. They might work for the government. And that you can't trust anyway.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the cast and crew of Beakman's World and what they did. Nice. And what Beakman's World was and where it came from, where it got established by Jock Church and his desire to say, hey, what else could I answer people's questions about? And so he would put out the experiments so that the kids could do them at home.
I'm going to go look up his name after we're done with this.
And we're probably slaughtering it.
I really hope it's Joke Church. That guy knows what's funny. He's the source.
It would make lots of sense.
Job, that's 3 letters. J-O-B. Joke, J-O-K.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably Jock, but in my head I keep seeing Joke Church.
Yeah. Because it's
literally funny.
I'm looking at it, but I want to say like Jacques. Like Jacques Cousteau.
But that's like Jacque.
I know.
Very French.
I know. It's not spelled
I think
anything
that guy's
alike.
Spanish.
His name's not Iglesias, it's Church. And he was born in Ohio.
He's from Ohio?
Ohio.
How'd you get the name J-O-K living in Ohio?
I don't know, but he was born.
Last name Church, I get it.
In Ohio.
Okay, now I gotta know how to pronounce his name. Hang on.
All right, look it up.
Jock Church.
But it was also the first syndicated news comic strip that was written and distributed by computer.
Oh, he passed away in 2016. 66 years old.
Yep.
Okay, how do you... Let's see.
But, I forgot what I was
born in Akron, Ohio, raised in Akron, Monroe Falls.
Yep. And then ran away.
Ran away from home and hitchhiked to San Francisco and started working in radio.
Yep.
Wow.
And then
let's see.
Somehow ended up working for Lucasfilms for a little bit and then created Jack and Beakman and Jack. Sorry, I'll get it in the right order. And it ran until after he died. It ran until 3 months after he died for 25 years. Oh, you're right. It's joke.
Oh, it is joke. It's joke church. Wow. Well, there you go. I had no idea.
I didn't either. I would rather read it as jock than joke in my head. But yeah, they have it as joke. What are they doing in Ohio that they're naming their kid Joke? You were supposed to be a girl. What a joke. Name him.
Maybe it's a family name or something. I don't know.
Could be. I don't know. Joke our church.
That's his name. That's his name. Joker Church.
Oh my word.
That's his name. I don't know what the R stands for, but it's Joke our church. It's Joker Church. Wow. That's a good way to end it right there.
Yeah.
So this has been Beakman's World. I don't know what we're going to talk about next time, but it'll be my turn to put the notes together. Should be fun.
And we will eventually have more skits. I have a half of one written, and it's not going to be in theme at all with the first one because, like, if you've listened to this, you've learned our brains jump a lot. And
Yes.
so...
And we're going to have an episode about that, too, where we talk about why we're doing this in the first place. Whole episode on that. So
it's very important to us.
As we laugh about it, yes. Anyway, I felt like I should explain myself.
I've put this out here. Now you need to understand.
So there's an inside joke I have at work with one of my coworkers. The last thing I'm going to talk about. Where anytime we're doing something and it's just kind of awkward for a second, we'll go, I feel like I should explain myself because I was there super early in the office one day and he walks up around the corner and I don't know what I was doing.
The
that
nose?
Day. No, I don't know what I was doing that day. And it was like 6:15 in the morning and I was already halfway through a Nutty Buddy, Little Debbie. And he just stops and looks at me in my office and I go, hang on. I feel like I should explain myself. Why I'm eating a Nutty Buddy at 6 a.m. while I'm in the office. But anyway, that's for another time.
See, if I was you, I would have just taken a bite and then slowly turned my chair away from the door.
Then we wouldn't have, I feel like I should explain myself. We say it to each other all the time. It's hilarious.
I'm not explaining myself. You just need to stop looking. This car wreck is not for your eyes.
Well, speaking of car wrecks, this one's over. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening. And that wraps up our first episode of Nerd Funny. Thanks for joining me as we took a trip back to the wonderfully weird, loud, and surprisingly educational world of Beakman's World. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and come back for more conversations about the shows, games, movies, and nerdy things that we love. Until next time, stay curious, stay nerdy, and remember, always stand a safe distance away from the experiment. Thanks. We'll see you next time.